97% of people abandon their new habits within 21 days. Think about that for a second. Nearly everyone fails. This isn't your fault. It's not because you're lazy. It's not because you lack discipline. It's not because you're missing some secret willpower gene. Your brain doesn't build habits the way most people think. The $13 billion self-help industry has been selling you lies. They tell you to just push through or find your why or be more disciplined. But what if I told you that discipline is actually the enemy of habit formation? Forget motivation. Forget willpower. Let me show you what actually works. Straight from neuroscience labs at MIT and Stanford. And by the end, you'll know exactly how to rewire any habit starting today. Here's the pattern. You get inspired. Maybe it's a podcast, a YouTube video, or a Monday morning surge of motivation. You decide, this is it. New me. Let's go. So you build a plan, wake up earlier, start meditating, cut out sugar, read more. And for a few days, it works. But then life happens. A bad night of sleep, a stressful email, you skip a day. Suddenly you're back where you started. The numbers tell the story. 2 million people buy gym memberships every January. By March, only 150,000 are still going. That's a 92% failure rate. But it gets worse. Research from the University of Scranton shows 23% of people quit their resolution after just 1 week. 81% fail within 2 years. Only 8% actually succeed long term. And here's what really breaks my heart. The average person tries the same goal 6 times before giving up completely. 6 times, 6 cycles of hope, effort, and crushing disappointment. And your brain whispers, see? You just can't stick to things. But what your brain doesn't tell you is this. You weren't designed to succeed with the methods you've been using. I've been there many times. I used to think I just needed to try harder, that if I could just push through the dip, I'd make it. But what I didn't realize is the reason I kept failing wasn't me, it was the strategy. Because habits aren't built with willpower, they're built with wiring. And once you understand how the brain actually wires in a behavior, you unlock an entirely different level of consistency. Your brain is not trying to make you successful, it's trying to make you efficient. Think of your brain like the GPS in your phone. It finds the fastest route, cue. It guides you down that path, routine. It says, you have arrived, reward. And every time you take that route, it becomes more automatic. But here's what most people don't understand. Your brain is running on ancient software. It was designed 200,000 years ago when humans lived in caves. Back then, conserving energy meant survival. Waste energy on unnecessary tasks, you die. So your brain evolved one primary directive: make everything as automatic as possible. Every habit you have, or good or bad, will exist because your brain saw a shortcut, a way to conserve energy by automating something. The fascinating part? MIT researchers discovered that when a habit becomes truly automatic, the decision-making part of your brain literally goes to sleep. You're running on autopilot. Over time, this loop gets stronger. The brain wraps it in myelin, a kind of insulation that makes it faster and more automatic. But here's the kicker. Your brain doesn't care if the habit is helpful or harmful. It only cares if it's repeated. Stop. Try this right now. Look at your hands, make fists, release them. You just followed a command without thinking. That's how habits work, automatically. This is why trying to force a habit doesn't work, because willpower is inconsistent. But the brain loves consistency. So the turning point for me was this. Don't rely on effort, rely on structure. That means shrinking the habit to something laughably small, anchoring it to an existing routine, making the reward immediate, even if it's just checking a box. Once I started designing habits this way, everything changed. Let me give you real examples. I wanted to build a writing habit. Not because I had time, I didn't, but because I needed clarity in my life and business. Old me would have said, write for 30 minutes every morning at 5 a.m. That lasted about 3 days. New approach, cue, after my morning coffee. Routine, write 1 sentence, just one. Reward, cross it off on a sticky note I kept on my desk. What happened? 1 sentence turned into a paragraph, then a page. Some days I stopped after 1 sentence, and that was okay, because the habit was alive. It was consistent. It was growing roots. But I'm not the only one. James, an entrepreneur from New York, wanted to read more, put a book next to his coffee maker, read 1 page after each cup of coffee, read 24 books in a year. Sarah, a busy executive, wanted to start journaling, kept a single index card next to her laptop, wrote 1 word describing her day before closing the laptop. After 3 months, she was writing full pages and called it life-changing. Marcus, a college student, struggled with procrastination. Did 1 math problem immediately after sitting at his desk. That single problem often turned into hours of focused study. Graduated summa cum laude. The pattern is always the same. Start stupidly small. Let momentum do the rest. I started applying this structure to everything. 1 push-up after brushing teeth, 1 glass of water after showering, 1 gratitude note before dinner. Each habit took less than a minute, but they stacked, and because they were built on cues and rewards, my brain embraced them. Here's the big idea. Design your habits like you design good software. Light, fast, easy to launch. The heavier it feels, the less likely your brain is to run it again. If you've been struggling to stick to habits, it's not because you're broken. It's because the system you're using doesn't match how your brain works. Right now, pause this video and do this. Pick 1 habit you want to build. Shrink it to 60 seconds or less. Attach it to something you already do. Write your plan in the comments below. Do it now, while the motivation is still here. Then do that tiny habit for 7 days. Come back next week and tell me how it went. Because habits don't change your life all at once. They change you quietly, consistently, from the inside out. Imagine yourself 1 year from now. You wake up and automatically exercise. Reading feels as natural as brushing your teeth. Healthy eating requires 0 effort. This isn't fantasy, this is science, and that's not willpower, that's wiring. Want a cheat sheet with the brain-based habit method? It's in the description below, free to download. Build better habits by working with your brain, not against it. That's how change finally sticks.